Okay, in this video we'll continue with the 1040EZ, and this time around you're again making minimum wage, you're working part-time hours, but this time you're working 50 weeks throughout the year. So this is basically a full year's worth of work. No surprise that the income that you make here by the end of the year is twice that of what we did in the last scenario. So again, don't get too hung up on dollar income per hour or the number of hours you work or the number of weeks. What we're really worried about is what does your tax scenario look like if you earn around $8,500 a year? Well, if you earn $8,500 a year and you look at your W-2s, by the end of the year, you'll likely have paid around $780 or $800 in taxes. So this is your only job. You've got almost a $9,000 income. Almost $800 has been taken from your paychecks in total. So let's see what the tax situation is going to look like here. I went ahead and filled out my name and address. Now I'll put my my security number, social security number. And let's get to it. Well, again, with wages and salaries, this time I made $8,550. Taxable interest, I had no money invested at banks that made any interest as an investment. I was not unemployed, or I should say I did not collect any unemployment. I did not live in Alaska, so I couldn't receive any money from those funds. When we add together lines 1, 2, and 3, $8,500, $8,550 is how much we have for what we call adjusted gross income. Now again, I'm living at home, so somebody else is going to claim me as a financial dependent, and because of that, I need to complete work on the worksheet on the back side of this handout. So we'll jump to the back side, follow the instructions. This time around, I had $8,550 from line 1, and if we add those two numbers together, we'll have $8,900. The larger of A or B, well, that's $8,900. Maximum standard deduction, well, if you're single, we should enter $6,350, which is true for this case, living at home under mom and dad's roof, single still. The smaller of the two between C and D, this is our standard deduction. So this is a little bit different than the last time. In the last example, this number ended up being our income, what was in line C. However, this time around we made too much money, so our standard deduction is $6,350. We'll still enter 0 for exemption status because we are a single person. And lastly, add together E and F. This is the number that should go back to line 5 on the front of the worksheet. So let's do that now. Lots of bouncing back and forth when completing these tax forms. And you'll notice anything that I scribble or scratch on this worksheet, I make sure that I erase completely right away so that it doesn't show up in the final file. Well, the number from the back of the worksheet was $6,350, so I'll enter that here. And when I subtract these two, now notice this time that we can subtract line 5 from line 4. So I can subtract these two. That's $2,250. I'm sorry, just $2,200. When I was younger, I would always get nervous at this point because when my brain's not fully thinking, I start to believe that, oh my gosh, this is how much tax that I owe. But that's absolutely not true. This is what we call our taxable income. So according to the government, even though, yes, you earned $8,000 last year, the government is only going to charge you taxes based on $2,200. So in their eyes, you earned $2,200 that needed to be taxed. The balance, the $6,000 balance, that's essentially tax-free income. So that's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and jot down how much we had withheld from our paycheck. I forget that number already. $780.62. I'm not going to mess with the earned income credit. Almost nobody qualifies for that, and in most of the scenarios in this class, we won't see that. We can talk more about it when I'm back in the classroom, but for most of the time, we won't qualify for that. So I'll almost always put 0 there. For our total payments, add together line 7 and 8A. And then take a look at our taxes. Now again, we've got to go to the tax table, go to the tax table, go to the tax table. One more time for emphasis. Go to the tax table to find out how much taxes you owe. The tax table is in our instruction booklet, so this is still open from the problem before. And what we need to be doing is finding line 6, right? If line 6 from the tax form is $2,200, well, there we go. If we're right on the bubble, we always jump up a level. If I earned $2,200, I was taxed on $2,200, then as a single person, the amount of tax that I owe, $221. I should only pay $221 in federal income tax. Okay, sorry, my computer kind of froze on me there. Let's jump back to where we were. Let's see here. We just came back from the tax table and found that we owe $221 in taxes. All right. Again, good sign here because we have already paid $780 in taxes in our withholdings, and our liability is only $221. So let's see what happens next. We did have health care offered to us at our job. We're going to assume that that was true. So I'm going to put 0 in line 11, and the instructions go on to say that we should add together lines 10 and 11. So our total tax that we owe for the 2018 year to the federal government, or I suppose 2017 would be more appropriate since we are using an old tax form, is $221. Now, line 9 is larger than line 12 again. So we'll subtract the two. Line 9, take away line 12. So if I bring up the calculator, 780.62 minus 221, 559.62. All right, so we are entitled to $559 back in taxes. We couldn't get all of it, right? We couldn't get all of that money back, but $559 is coming back to us. If you take the time to fill out your routing number, account number, your signature, date, occupation, and phone number, this form would be ready for filing. Make sure you do that before you send it to me, please, and we can call this video quits. Thanks.